What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Key Wine, and I am back with Ready to Love, Season 11, Episode 4, Up Close and Personal, and where I am flabbergasted, okay? Because, you know what? Calm down. You're right. I'm going to calm down. Okay. All right. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. Girl, let's just go ahead and jump right into this because the ladies are in control this week. Okay. They have to take the men, they have to bring the men into their world. Fine. I was here for it. So Devon, Christina, Ina, y'all know I call her Christina Ina, Chris, Bello, they're at Dominique's home. So Christina Ina is always sniffing on Chris like he's some type of scratch and sniff. Okay, girl, that is not a scratch and sniff. Tell me what kind of cologne he have on. Okay, what kind of cologne he wear? I want to know. I'm pretty sure Chris wears like $400-500 cologne, something real bougie and expensive. I don't know. Anyway, Dominique and Bello have a connection. He comes to the door. She give him a little smooch. She like him. They like each other. Okay, they like each other. They share a slob, so they like each other. Okay, so Devon likes how grounded Dominique is, and he's now able to see that now that he is in her home. And then Chris have a conversation with Christina. They talk about, how they used to be. They talk about versus, where they are today and how the things that they've been through has made them grateful. Their upbringing has made them grateful. All right. So Devon and Dominique have a conversation. He just flat out says, "I want you." And she was like, "What is it that you want about me?" Right? So then they have this conversation about children. And of course, we know that Dominique has had 2 miscarriages. And so she doesn't want to go through that again to actually carry a kid. Devon said he wants a few kids. Sir, the economy is too high to have a few kids. Hell, the economy is too high to have one. All right? Anyway, they talk about adoption as an option, and so they both were good with adopting as an option. Anyway, Christina have a conversation with Bello. We find out that him and Christina talk on the phone. When they do talk, they talk on the phone for hours. But in person, it's a little different. So there is not that, she don't feel like she get that same Bello that she gets over the phone. She says she feels like Bello doesn't really show any love to her. All right. She said, "Listen, when I send a text, this is what I say when I need you to show me love. When I send a text that says, 'Oh my God, I just need a massage,' in that moment, you shouldn't be wanting to come and do the massage yourself, but you should be wanting to put a little coin towards my massage." And it seems as though Christina get whatever she wants because her face card never declines. And let's be clear, her skin. Okay, I'm not being a colorist, but what I'm saying is this woman gets whatever she wants. And I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying. Just a little observation. She, from the next week's episode, basically, she wants the way her dad took care of her mom. I think she wants somebody to come in and take care of her that way as well. So, I don't know. But she put it out there. And so, it just didn't go well. She realized that, okay, he's not what I need. And so I got to move around, basically. Fine. I always say, if you meet somebody and y'all don't share things in common, it doesn't make sense to stay and try to make, boom. No. Go your separate ways. It's fine. So Nicole and Devin, they are out on a date and they are playing cricket. I actually like Nicole and Devin. Devon. Sorry, I keep coming. I actually like Nicole and Devon. I don't know what it is about them, but they are cutesy to me. Anyway, Devon says in his confessional that Dominique is his boo, but he likes Nicole. And here is the thing: Dominique may be your boo, but Dominique's boo is Bello. Okay, I'm just saying. I think sometimes, for me, as I've seen Devon in these past few episodes, it seems as though he lacks awareness. And this is no shade. I'm just saying there is this lack of awareness, because if you didn't see the chemistry between, and you're sitting next to Bello and Dominique, I don't know, like, I need you to open your eyes and, like, I don't know, that chemistry is a little different. Anyway, he said he likes Nicole, but he want to see where it goes, and I don't want nobody to try to play Nicole as if she's some default. All right, that's all I'm saying. So then Shannon invited Ed, Donna, Xavier, Darius over to her home, and she asked everyone to bring one of their favorite items and just explain what their favorite items meant. So Darius is actually feeling Shannon. Shannon is a nice lady. I think the men really see it for Shannon. I think it's her personality and how she show up. And I like Shannon. She just like, this is me. She just gives me a lot of classy. And this is no shade to all the other women. I'm just saying when I look at Shannon, that is what I see. Anyway, Shannon has her cervical wheel. That's what she showed everybody. I don't think we really got a reason why. But, y'all know the cervical wheel is basically, we need to know if the woman is dilating. So when the baby, we're ready for the baby. If you don't know what that was. All right. I mean, women should know. But men, if you are listening. Okay. Anyway, Xavier brought his flower from his grandmother's homegoing service. He said that his grandmother actually gave it to him. I don't know if he said before she passed away, but he keeps it, and it's in a glass box. All right. So Donna brought her pom-poms. I think she used to be a dancer or a cheerleader or whatever. Ed brought like this statue that his cousin purchased for him. It was a gift from his cousin who later passed away in active duty, which is so sad. So condolences to him. All right. Darius, he brought his firstborn, his oldest daughter's outfit that his mother sewn and made for her, but his mom passed away in 2012. And this is why he explains his passion for fashion. Okay? He said it just all come from his mom. And as he was explaining things, he starts to get teary-eyed. So I thought that was good of Darius. Maybe I was wrong about Darius. I'm gonna cut him some slack. Okay? So Donna said she was surprised by Darius, and she see him a little different, because y'all remember last week Donna went to him and said the lady said you were showing a different side than what you really need to be shown. And I was like, I guess. I mean, I agreed. I was like, But I guess we got to peel a little bit of layer from him. Anyway, Donna and Xavier have a conversation. And he said that he is slow at making connections, and he's only spoken to one person, and he's not really into that one person, whomever he spoke to. He didn't put a name on it. Donna really doesn't think he's into this process, and neither do I. Like, I get you moving slow, but I don't know, sir. Why are you here? Okay, I like you. I think you're a nice gentleman, but why are you here? Why? But whatever. Shannon tells, I want to say she told Ed that she hasn't been on a one-on-one date, and she asked Ed, hey, is this our one-on-one? And so he talks about boxing and how he spoke at a school and how the kids asked him, did he knock anybody out? Has he ever been knocked out? And so Shannon was like, well, have you ever been knocked out? He said, no. He said, listen, these hands are not always for knocking out, but they are for protection, and they are for cooking, and they are also for massages. Okay. So then in the next scene, we see Ashanti. She's hosting a cooking class, and she invited Lauren, Cardi, and Vince. And so Lauren wants to get to know Vince a little more. And I was like, this is really my first time seeing Lauren. We haven't really seen Lauren or even Steven. And it was good to see Lauren and Steven tonight. All right. And we'll get down to Steven, y'all. I was just bringing that up. So Lauren, we found out that Cardi can't hold the knife. Cardi, do you know how to boil water? Cardi, can you cook? Okay, because sir, we need you to know how to cook and not just noodles. Okay? Or place orders. You need to know how to get in the kitchen and cook, sir. Okay? Unless you have a chef. Now, I'm not mad at that if you do. But something tells me that you don't. And so, you see Vincent, he's cutting the mushrooms, and he keeps yelling sharp. And I'm just looking at Vincent like, sir, shut up. Okay? Anyway, Lauren thinks Cardi is sweet and confident and funny. And I was like, okay, he is sweet. And he seemed like he could be funny. But I didn't get confident from him. But, we only get to see what the TV show us. Okay, I like Cardi. Okay, he is one of my favorites. I actually like them in this season. But we'll get there. So they also talk about having kids, and, they're pretty much on the same page. They do have things in common. So Ashanti and Vince, they have a conversation. And she said that he came up, she asked him about the comment about, bringing in paying 50-50 or doing more, yada, yada, yada. So Vince explains, he said, listen, if I'm bringing in $150,000, then the woman don't have to work. He said, but if she wants to do something different, she has to bring in her own income or help her with his business to grow more than what they have. So to me, this is where I started to disconnect with Mr. Vincent, because I feel like even if you're bringing in the money and I'm telling you, hey, this, maybe we can do this. So in order for me to have an opinion, I have to either bring in my money or help you build up your business. Is that what I'm... Yeah, I think that's what I heard. Vincent, yeah, I could not with Vincent. I could not. There is something about him that gives... I have such a little temper. I don't mind. And he seems as though he may be that guy that... I don't mind you being a stay-at-home wife or whatever, but at some point, I'm going to throw this shit in your face. And you're not allowed to have a comment. Now, I could be reaching, but something tells me I'm not reaching. Okay? Something tells me I'm not reaching. But whatever. Ashanti thinks Vince is being a bit combative, and she's not connecting with him at the moment. So I think the like that she had for Vincent, it's actually gone. She has for Vince has kind of gone out the window. Okay. So then we get to the next scene. We see Ashley and Ed, and basically she wants him to meet her dog. Her dog is so cute. Okay, your dog is cute, ma'am. I don't know. I think they are friendly, but I didn't see a connection. I did not see that between them. So Ashanti and Steven, they go they go out on a date to make tie-dye. Steven is always into creative and arts and, stuff like that. And he tells her, hey, you remind me of the girls that I grew up with. They were very nice. And you are just, just her vibe and her energy reminds him of the women, of the young girls that he grew up with. He wants a woman to have her own, to not just be, I have to take care of, I want to have my own, I want to establish my own business or job or whatever. He wants a woman to shine. He want to be able to have his person to shine, and I'm not mad at it. Y'all, I think Steven is so cute. Okay, and them glasses it's just extremely cute. All right. I thought those two were cute. Okay, I keep using that one word. Anyway, back to Ed and Ashley. He talks about how, he was in a marriage, but they grew apart, but they co-parent really well. I don't know if Ed ever discussed how many kids he have or whatever, but, then we go back to Steven and Ashanti. No. I'm sorry. I already talked about that. Ashley tells Ed, listen, I want you to text me a little more. He asks, what does that look like? She didn't say text, but she wants him to show that, he's interested. And he was like, what does that look like, sir? What do you mean? What does that look like? If you like somebody, if you're interested in somebody, then you would communicate with them a little more than you do. But if you're not interested in Ashley, you probably should tell her. It feels like this episode is giving the men are the prize. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Some of the men think that they're the prize. Okay, and this is anyway. Steven is he's just now getting Ashanti's number. I just think they're cute. I don't understand why we're not seeing more dates with Steven or Lauren. It's odd. I don't, Anyway, we get to the ladies' lounge, y'all, and everybody's connecting with Steven, Cardi, Devon, Ed, Darius, and Bello. But they're not feeling Vince, Bello, and Xavier. So, Christina Ina said that Vince called one of the women a bitch. Okay? And Lauren was like, listen, hold up. We don't want to just, say all of that, make all these accusatory statements and things of that sort. We really want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And the ladies was like, well, we're glad you say that because you were the one who he called a bitch. And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, I know the hell you lying. And I think it was something about her being a tall. If I'm then you know what? Yeah, and at this point, Vince should have been gone. Anyway, we find out that Christina Ina she don't want Bello. She said she wasn't feeling Bello because guess what? If I say I need a massage, etc., you have to send me your queen. And we find out that Devon sent Christina, cashed out Christina. And Bello didn't respond, and somebody else responded in a way like, I can't do it right now. And she was understanding to that. And so Dominique thinks that Christina Ina was being a little petty. Again, I think Christina can get what she wants based on aesthetics. And so Donna takes Vince on a date. Dominique takes Xavier on a date. Dominique calls Xavier old-fashioned. Donna tells Vince that there was feedback and that he referred to one of the ladies as a bitch, and he said, oh. And it was just very casual. Okay, and like you said it, and if you said it, that was fucked up. Okay, because y'all know there are some of these videos I do not curse on, but Ready to Love, I try my damnness. But this, yeah, Because you would have got all the smoke from me. Anyway, he said he was having a jovial conversation with the guys, and he admitted to using that word, but he said he wasn't calling that person a bitch. Sir, then how did you say it? Because it doesn't matter how you say it. It doesn't matter what type of phrase you put it in. You call that lady a bitch. Okay? And it came from one of the men. The men, apparently, one of the men told one of those women. She brought it back here, but you didn't think it was going to be back here. And the fact that you sat in that lady's face knowing you called that lady a bitch is insane to me. Okay? I just feel like at this point you can go, because this lady was really about to ride for you. And if you can call this lady a bitch who has never done anything to you, imagine what you'll say to another woman who you pissed off at. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like this. And what is really bullshit to me is the fact that, and I'm going to just skip, that y'all kept him on there. It says y'all kept him on there because y'all want drama. Y'all kept him on there for a storyline. Hell, I would have kept Xavier on for another week. Like, that is fucked up. And for this lady to have to come back, I wouldn't have a whole ass thing to say to Vincent. Okay, because I'll be weighing his ass out every chance I get. I'm sorry, I cannot apologize for this. This shit is disrespectful. It is disrespectful. Okay? I told y'all, that shit is fucked up. Because if you call me a bitch, you better know the men I know. And if you're watching this, guys, I love y'all, my family. They coming. Anyway, because that burnt me up, because there was no reason. Even if you were saying, there is no way you can put bitch and jokingly in the same sentence. I'm sorry. I always feel like when people, especially y'all men, jokingly say stuff, that is how you really felt. Ooh, Lord, my eye jumping. That's how you really felt. Y'all see my eye jumping? Anyway, so Xavier said, his reasoning for moving slow or whatever, he said that he don't cast his pearls in swine. Y'all know that's a Bible verse. And he said he will start keeping his surface with the women. He has been surface, I guess, with the women. And for me, sir, why are you there? You can always self-eliminate. You can always self-eliminate. Like, it just sounds like you're not interested. And I get moving slow, but this process is not a slow process. And if you are a person that does move slow, I don't think ready to love is your stilo. I think you need to really meet somebody authentically. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he doesn't belong or his person wasn't on there. I'm saying that you have to meet somebody in a more authentic way when you can go your pace. That's not what this show is about. You're gonna move fast because it's a time frame. Anyway, he said he didn't want to act too quickly, and I understand that. I get that, but Ready to Love is just not a show that you should be on. And I mean that in the most sincere way. They pissed me off because you allowed Vincent to stay and Xavier is out. I'm sorry. Tommy was like, oh, I don't ever want to hear that word. What the fuck you gonna do, Tommy? Okay, because we have seen you over and over take up for these raggedy ass niggas. Okay? I'm sorry, I cannot. I am gone. Okay? Because that pissed me off. I will see y'all in there. Actually, I will see y'all tonight for Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right?